Hey, how's everybody doing? Once again, it's Wheel of Albums. Along with my brother Adam and our friend Jack, I am Justin. And on the camera right now is our graphic artist, Sydney. What we do here on Wheel of Albums is we spin a wheel of them. 1001 albums you must hear before you die. Then the three of us listen to that album for a week. We get together at the end of the week and we decide if that album is something you really need to listen to before you die. This week, we go to England, 2003 release, Dizzee Rascal, Boy in the Corner. Little grime music, baby.
This week on Wheel of Albums, we had Boy in the Corner. He's just a rascal, I'm just a rascal. He's just a rascal, I'm just a rascal. Pure enlightenment. I was so excited to listen to it because I had heard Bonkers before and Fix Up Look Sharp, and I thought, oh, all right. And then I saw it was 15 songs long, and I lost all hope. It's a bit too much.
Boy in the Corner came up. Do not know or have ever heard of this artist or record that is apparently on the list. Pardon my vinyl countdown.
Boy in the Corner, Dizzee Rascal. So I went through my UK garage phase like I'm sure all 29-year-olds do back in the early 2000s. Attracted to bands like The Streets, MIA, a couple off the top of my head. And then I heard Fix Up Look Sharp by Dizzee Rascal, and I was like, hey, old school rap, vibe to it. I'm going to pick up this CD as well. Not the best purchase I ever made.
There ends up being talk about how he invented this music genre, grime. And I've considered it. I've not gone to the straw poll. I'm reserving that for another time. But I find it difficult to believe that other artists haven't discovered grime, then listened to what they came up with and recorded, and then threw it in the trash can.
All right, debut on the Wheel of Albums of Professor Adam Talks Genres of Music.
I had never heard of grime before, but I had heard of dubstep. And evidently, they both have their roots from the UK in the early 2000s, and both are kind of electronic dance music genres. Dubstep has its roots in UK garage and often uses a minor key, where grime was developed also out of the garage, but influences from jungle, dancehall, and hip-hop roots, and plays at a faster tempo. And I'm really not sure if Dizzee Rascal is more a grime or a dubstep. And to be honest, I don't know if I really care.
I don't know the plight that Dizzee Rascal's facing. I can't understand most of the screaming that he's doing over the noisy Casio keyboard type stuff.
Probably the biggest disappointment for me with Boy in the Corner when I picked it up, and still listening to it today, is that I thought it was going to be an homage to old school rap a little bit more. Well, after I've listened to this several times, a lot more than the two of you combined. And I'm not bragging about that. I still can't wrap my head around the more grimier songs on here. Stop that. Really hard to get your head into. He just raps like he's claustrophobic and trying to get out of a box the whole time, and trying to pick up on lines here and there are just really hard to do.
Which we have to give it up for a young 17-year-old Dylan Mills for putting his best foot forward and being the forefather of grime in the early 2000s. Songs like Fix Up Look Sharp, that it feels like that one just shot out of a cannon, and just the highlight of the entire album. But other songs like Just a Rascal and Jezebel are really good too. The second half of the album, I think, is a lot stronger than the first half.
The worst, I'm going to go with Brand New Day. It reminded me of when somebody got one of those Casio keyboards. It had that little sampling button. It was funny for like half a second when you made the dog bark or whatever, and then they just would not quit pressing that button, and it would drive you bananas.
I'd like to think there's a lot of introspective lyrics on Boy in the Corner. It won the Mercury Prize in the UK for 2003 over a lot of other big albums. I know at one point in Jezebel, he says something about our character having VD, but not gonorrhea or herpes. So I did get something out of that. And then she got pregnant again and had 2 more Jezebels. And I'm not making fun here. This is actually one of the songs I like more on this album. You can understand what Dizzee's trying to go for an introspective lyric theme on that song.
Like he's done so many times for so many British rappers, Billy Squier has saved the day
I got the big beat.
by appearing on Fix Up, Look Sharp.
I hear the sound.
Upon my first listen, I kept asking myself, is that Billy Squier?
Countless rap songs have relied on Billy Squier's The Big Beat.
So only due to the Billy Squier appearance, I'm going with Fix Up, Look Sharp as a redeemable song on this. I yield all points to Billy, though. Dizzee gets none. All my other points go to Billy.
Dizzee is indeed a rapper and a hype man. Best rappers are both all of the time. While his lyrics, I don't understand what he's singing about. Even if it does sound like hyperactive nonsense, he probably has a message that he's trying to get through.
Dizzee Rascal does not bring anything to a party that I would ever attend.
If I'm going to be honest, there's a few good songs on here that I do like the tongue-in-cheek What You Want. But for the majority of it, it's just something I don't go back and revisit very much at all. And is that because I can't really get my head around British rap? I don't know.
Fix Up, Look Sharp might be the best rap song I've heard in a very long time. And so I kind of welcomed trying to listen to British rap. And even though he doesn't hit the mark all of the time, that song is so good, especially mixing some Billy Squier in there. And it's just, just fantastic. So, why I don't want to sit and listen to an hour of British rap. There are definitely highlights to this record, and a little bit of Dizzee here and there can go a long way.
I don't know the plight that Dizzee Rascal's facing.
Hey, not frequenting East London that often, it is tough to understand Dizzee's plight for sure. All right, here is the top ratings for Boy in the Corner. I had the top one, 5.47 on a scale of 1 to 10. Adam with the 3.86, Jack a 1.47. Boy in the Corner is our lowest rated album yet at 3.60. As far as our top 3 songs, Fix Up, Look Sharp at the top. Just a Rascal and Jezebel round out our top 3. And 2 of the several songs on here that are what I consider throwaways too. Round We Go and Live-O come in at the bottom.
Dizzee Rascal, Boy in the Corner, an album that you must listen to before you die. Research has shown that you are more likely to be struck by lightning twice in one day than to find a copy of Dizzee Rascal, Boy in the Corner in your American Friends record collection. Research has further shown that you would rather be struck by lightning twice than have to listen to Dizzee Rascal, Boy in the Corner. This is a must not. Do not listen to Dizzee Rascal before you die. I don't know the plight that Dizzee Rascal's facing.
Even though Just a Rascal has been in my head for the last week, just on repeat. Just a rascal, it's just a rascal. The answer to do you need to hear the entire Boy in the Corner album is no, you do not. But you do need to hear Fix Up, Look Sharp and put it on repeat. Throw a little Just a Rascal in there and then call it a day.
Should you listen to this before you die? I've had a copy of this for over 20 years. And like I said before, I'd like some of the UK garage stuff that was out. But overall for this album, I'm going to say no, you do not need to listen to this before you die. There's a couple really good tunes on here, but 15 songs makes the whole effort just a little bit too long. And in the end, there's other things you could probably try out in the 1001 albums before this. Fix Up, Look Sharp, definitely still a winner in my book, though.
And I salute you, Dizzee Rascal. Thank you for teaching me what grime is and for somewhat keeping me entertained the past week.
All right, so another album in the can. Hey, if you're listening to us right now on YouTube, why don't you subscribe and you can get a new short podcast from us every Monday. We try to keep the podcast around 10 minutes or so. If you're listening to us for the first time over on Spotify, it's the same thing over there. You can go ahead and hit that follow button. Vote on the poll, too, while you're at it. All right, Jack, spin the wheel for number 14.
Now, let's spin the wheel. And coming up, oh my goodness, there's a quiet storm approaching. Anita Baker, Rapture.
Going to the 80s. The quiet storm is definitely approaching. Gonna have to light a candle and listen to Anita next. All right, from our brother Adam and our friend Jack, I'm Justin. We appreciate you listening to us, and we'll catch you next time here on Wheel of Albums.
A white 46-year-old's version of British grime. He's just a rascal. I'm just a rascal. He's just a rascal. I'm just a rascal. Blah, 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 blah.